I've seen some Marvel Rivals tier lists, but I don't think many of them reflect how the characters actually feel climbing to Diamond or Grandmaster. Sure, heroes like Hulk or Thor can be good at lower ranks, but no one really follows up. Stuff like that can make the tier shift up a bit. Before we start, this tier list is purely for Diamond rank and below, specifically for solo or duo queue, where you don't have a full team that will listen to every plan you have. I've ranked this based on my experience climbing to Diamond twice with plus 80% win rate in the past week, so let's get into it. Starting with the highest tier, Exodia, there's not really much to say about it. If you don't play these characters, you're already at a disadvantage. Hela one-shots people and has an insane ult. Hawkeye one-shots are a bit harder, and his ult is also insane. Strange can cheese capture points, has a shield the size of the Empire State, and his ult is way too good. And then we have the best two healers in the game. Solid kits and ults that will keep you alive for an eternity. Not much more to say about them, other than Mantis is really good for divers, due to her sleep. In the always useful tier, we have heroes that will honestly be good no matter what your team chooses. Penny is underrated as hell with her insta-kill mine setups. She's also my main, and I've climbed to Diamond 2 recently in 5 hours, with 85% win rate, on an alt account. And I've got a guide for her linked in the description if you want to rank up fast. Punisher melts tanks and squishes from far away if you have good aim. Also has a busted ult. Groot has the highest DPS in the game with his walls, if you actually read what the abilities say. Adam will mostly remain unpunished by lower skill players. An Adam that stays alive is sometimes even better than Exodia healers. And for last in this tier we have Moon Knight, who I would maybe put below, but players don't like to destroy Yanks for some reason, giving this hero a shit ton of free damage and a lot of ults per game. Then we have what will probably be the most controversial tier. I know some of you may argue some of these are broken, but to me they're just not as consistent as the ones above. Magic is good, but very often team dependent. Jeff is mostly a cheese character, since if we take off his ult, higher tier healers are just better. But honestly, no one focuses you when you're old, so he's probably very good until higher ranks. Cloak and Dagger I would definitely put above, but people in Diamond and below just don't know what she does and ignore her stuff like her ult. Winter Soldier gets better as you rank up, but below Diamond you won't get follow-ups. Fish Guy or Namor will feel useful until you realize you're not bringing much utility to teamfights, unless you're really good. Venom is good, but your teammates won't follow up your actions correctly. Iron Man is honestly ass, but it's pretty up here, since enemy team won't really shoot you down most of the times. This hero is pretty weird because in the highest ranks he becomes pretty broken, with teammates like Hulk or Doctor Strange for the Gamma Overdrive buff. The best team in the world would probably consist of Strange, Hulk, Iron Man, Star-Lord, Mantis, and Adam. Just try it out. Squirrel Girl just doesn't have much more of an impact other than consistent AoE damage. Argue this in the comments if you don't agree with, but this is how the characters felt every time I saw them. Reaching the end, we have the worst tier. These characters often heavily rely on your teammates, and while they can be good if they listen to you, most of the times they just won't. Magneto is good for shielding divers and punishing ults like Iron Man with his own, since you can actually absorb it. Hulk is an insane tank, but you'll get melted due to the lack of follow-up. Same exact scenario with Captain and Thor. Storm is underrated as fuck, but you'll also get melted and blamed by your team. And then Wanda and Rocket are in my opinion kind of an int if you play them, especially in lower ranks. For last we have the one trick tier. These are very hard to rank because they're fully skill dependent. They extremely heavily rely on how many hours you put into actually learning them. You can solo carry games as Black Panther by picking random kills and being annoying. And same with Psylocke. Luke is an insane strategist who can change the tide of games by himself if played correctly, by copying useful enemy or ally ults. Spider-Man is used the definition of skill. If you're good, you'll carry, and if you're not, you won't. Not much more to say. Iron Fist is similar but worse in general, same with Wolverine. And for last, Black Widow, she's good if you have 10k hours on aim labs and you're hitting headshots all over the place. But yeah, feel free to argue in the comments, preferably with constructive criticism please. Subscribe if you agree with at least some of these, and see y'all next time.